G'day, Steel Nation. How you going? It's Mark here, Mark Davidson from Steel Nation Australia. What's going on, West Country? Oh, what's that? Let's go, baby! Yes, yes! Let's go!
What's the deal with the schedule?
I think the stereotype that we drink Fosters, and the first Foster I saw was in Pittsburgh. It's a true story.
Yeah,
The
I've
first
only
ever
seen-
Foster I saw was in America. I've never
I
seen one
thought that
here.
was like Australia for beer.
For what?
Steel Nation, what's going on? Is anyone awake? Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Hooly dooly. We are waiting for the Dublin game to be announced. And my internet is crap. So I don't know how long I'll be here. G'day, J-Devil. G'day, George. G'day, John. What's going on? G'day, Gene. Like maybe an hour. I think I'll wait. I'll do 1 hour. G'day, Kevin. Man, you guys are keen. It's like morning time. It's like 7 a.m. Early as F. Yeah, it must be heaps early. It must be like 3 a.m. So I might have a guest on too. Tom, the international fan, might be coming on from Ireland as well. So I've texted him to see if he can be near a computer. Yeah, there's been rumors too that it's going to be week 4, Steelers versus Vikings. So that's a rumor. 8 a.m. Yeah, it is early. It is really early. So, but there's meant to be Good Morning Football on NFL Network is announcing it within the hour, officially. So they're talking about week 1. They're talking about Cowboys versus Eagles, and then within this hour they're meant to announce the Irish game. So see how we go. Yeah. I don't know. I do. You know what? I looked at I got to figure it out. Like I really got to figure it out within 4 months if I can afford to go over there. I looked at the hotels for Dublin, and they are astronomical. Like they are legit fucking expensive. So I got to figure this out. But I think I'll get there. I think I'll get there somehow, some way. The hotels are like $400 a night, so I might have to stay. Maybe not downtown Dublin. Maybe get a hostel. I'll figure something out. But I'm going over. My plan is to go over for 3 weeks. So here's what we know. Apparently, it's this. It's Vikings and versus Steelers. September week. Oh, this one's better. Week 4 is September 28th. That's what we know so far. That's the rumor that's been going around. That's going to happen. So welcome to 8 people on the stream. That's crazy, man. I click a button and you guys come in. So I'm always very appreciative of that before I go to bed. And we might even do a show tomorrow too with Bubba and Shane. And I'm pretty tired, but we'll see how we go. So that's what we know, because there's been, Chiefs and Chargers, Brazil. They reckon the Vikings are going to double up. Week 4, that's wild too. Week 4, week 5 for the Minnesota Vikings back to back is insane. 3 games in England, 1 in Germany, 1 in Spain. So some of these have come true, but the Vikings and Steelers one is like just a rumor. So hopefully I'm talking low enough for you guys to wake up. But we'll sit here and see what happens. That's what I really got. Hang on a minute. But yeah, I do got to figure out a way how to. I've got 4 months to get over there. Then I got pretty much a year for Pittsburgh. But where there's a will, there's a way. Dude, it's like 20. It's like 25 hours. It's a long time. Sydney to Dublin. Flight time. It's like 30 something. It's 24 hours. That's fucking incredible. That's wild, dude. It says 23 hours plus 10 minutes. That's only the flight time. Whoosh. Whoosh. So, it's a long way. G'day, Blue Nose. What's going on? 27th is a holiday. Yeah, I look. I kind of hope the rumor's wrong, to be honest. But yeah, I kind of hope the rumor's wrong, to be honest. But the rumor is that it's week 4, September 28th, and that goes back about a few weeks ago as well. So I'll try and when they start talking about it, I got my phone next to me. I don't know if you can hear this chick. I turned it on. I thought Kay Adams was the Good Morning Football, but it's this other Sheila. Someone else. They're talking about George Pickens and the trade and you know, all that stuff. But she did say that within this hour we're gonna know. So yeah. I'll try and get Tom on the podcast too today, if he's free. I'll text him. Yeah, I'll try and get him on. But that's a great. I can't believe there's 10 people. It always gets me. There's 10 people here at legit 7 a.m. Like, what is your American time now? Like USA time. Like, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8:11 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, in Washington, and 5 a.m. in LA. So everyone's just waking up. 5:11 a.m. Insane. That's insane to me. G'day, JJ52. What's going on? It is late. And where you're at, where the fuck? I forget. Are you still at where you're at? G'day, Felicia. What's going on? 7:11 a.m. 9:11 in Nova Scotia, Canada. 9 p.m. It's nuts. It's 10 p.m. here. It's insane how there's so many people from like everywhere, all around everywhere. It's insane. But yeah, just to catch up, the rumor is this is big news. This is huge news for the Steelers to play their first ever regular season game in Dublin. And I will make it there somehow, some way. What's that? 5 months away? 5 months away, 16 weeks. Got to work really hard, maybe do some more Uber Eats. But yeah, that's the rumor is week 4, Vikings in Dublin, and the Vikings got to go back to back. Last time the Steelers played Vikings in London, I think they lost as well. What was that? That game was like 2012, was it? Steelers versus Vikings in London. No, 2013. They lost 34-27. So that was the last one they played overseas. in London. At that time, they were 0-4. Big Ben threw for 36 passes, completed in 51 attempts. Le'Veon Bell had 57 yards. Adrian Peterson carved us up. 23 carries and 140 yards, 2 TDs. Carved us up. So the Steelers better be ready, man. They better be ready for the season too. Now they're talking about, on Good Morning Football, they're talking about are the Cowboys poised for a bounce back season? Yeah, that was the one where didn't he take on the cornerback? I don't know who the cornerback was, but he ran over him. He just pushed him to the ground and took on the cornerback. It was insane. Yeah, that was in London. So it's interesting that they're going to, if it's true, which it looks like it is, they're going to verse him again. That was so long ago, 2013. I went to London. I went overseas in 2012 when I was 22 years of age. That's so crazy. 13 years ago. Big Ben got sacked 5 times. Le'Veon Bell 2 TDs. Then Jericho Cotchery got 100 yards, 1 TD. So just winning the game. Just scored way too many. Lawrence Timmons, Ryan Clark, Vince Williams, Lamar Woodley, Troy. 2013 though, that was when the team was kind of like on the down. That was like what, Troy's last year or second last year. So yeah. Oh, that's a different game. I wish. I freaking wish, mate. It's a different game. G'day, casual. What are the odds Steelers go full fire sale if they started like 0-5? They just don't do that. Long as I've been watching them for 23 years now, they just don't do it. They wouldn't go fire sale because they put themselves in a bad situation. People were saying when they got rid of George Pickens, they were going to get rid of TJ Watt. They were going to get rid of Minka, but it doesn't happen. They got rid of Pickens because he said because he was maybe a bad vibe in the locker room, maybe a bit of a cancer. Yeah, we just don't do that. I don't know who your team is. Who's your team, casual? And welcome to the show, by the way. Welcome to the show. Let me know who your team is. Is it the Cowboys? I've had some Cowboys fans recently because I was doing content around George Pickens going over there. But yeah, what they've been doing recently is going through the O-line, getting Troy Fautanu. I think that was a good move, and we'll see if he can bounce back from the injury. Zach Frazier, really good move at center. Broderick Jones. Then they got the D lineman now, the big fellas up front, Harmon, and Y.A. Black. So they've been building for the trenches. That's what they've been doing the last few years. They tried the quarterback situation with Kenny Pickett. It didn't work out, but it's okay. I think if they don't sign Aaron Rodgers, they'll go with 2 years or a year with Mason Rudolph, get another quarterback number 2, and see what happens. You know, we just don't do those fire sale things like the Jags do or whatever. Oh yeah, you're an NFL fan plus Rams fan. Okay, cool. Yeah, they just don't do that. And 2, there's no real need. The Steelers always have a chance in the playoffs, even though they haven't won a game in 7 years. They like to compete. Mike Tomlin has the team ready, even though people don't say they do. But Mike Tomlin does a tremendous job getting them to 9-8, 11-7 with the team who they got, right? So I get what you're saying. Like if everything's 0-5 and, you know, but the thing is they've already got picks too. You wouldn't trade away players to get back more picks because you've got 12 picks next year, which you can move around. Full rebuild would go for them. I'm always curious about the rebuild, to be honest. Now they're talking about the Bengals. So with a rebuild, how many times do you see teams do this? Now the Rams are interesting because the Rams, they won their Super Bowl and they're kind of, to me, I think they're kind of rebuilding certain places, different pieces and prove me if I'm wrong. But the Rams have won their Super Bowl over the Bengals. And thank you, by the way, because I can't stand the Bengals, right? They still kept Stafford. They got good receivers now. In that one of the dudes over there, is it Puka Nakua, right? And they're, I guess, rebuilding, but they won their Super Bowl. So they kind of bounce back and have a chance to go to the playoffs. Whereas teams like the 49ers, I think they're like on the downtrend. They're going downwards, I think, what I see. Seattle tried it with Geno Smith. Now they changed quarterbacks now. He's a Raider. So the Rams won their Super Bowl, a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're slowly getting back on the hunt. So I don't know if the Steelers would go through, I don't know if they would go a full rebuild mode where they, trade everyone away. Yeah, exactly right. You've got a tank, and Mike Tomlin-led teams don't do that. History has told us that. No matter if you like it or don't like it, Mike Tomlin-led teams, he gets Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges in their rookie year to a 9-7 season. Yes, 100%. You have to tank. You have to not have the right pieces, like the Jags did, like the Titans did last year, like the Browns have done before. So we don't do that. I guess I don't know, man, just a beach, just to chill, just get a coffee. Just, you know what? All that kind of stuff. Don't go too crazy. Don't my advice, just chill. Get a coffee. Go on a podcast. I don't know. Yeah, you guys did it right. Like the Rams did it where they won a Super Bowl, 3 or 4 years ago, and they're still rebuilding with Matthew Stafford. And then I guess you got to find a quarterback after him. Yeah, it'd be good. In that sense. Oh, dude, they're coming. Don't worry. I got something planned. I got something planned. This is no wheel. This is no 90 days. It's just getting prepped. I could be getting prepped for a 24-hour stream. And there's going to be a reason behind it. Yeah, I'll do a podcast with her. If you know her, reach out to her. I'll go on a show. I'll do it. I hope so. Yeah, we got a good quarterback. We haven't got a great quarterback in Mason Rudolph. I heard a reporter say the other day that the team likes him. I heard Beanie Bishop have a bit of faith in him too. So the receivers are around Mason Rudolph, but he's not great, but he's good. He's good enough to see what happens this year, and maybe there's a massive flyer in Will Howard, you know? Yeah, she'd be cool too. Yeah, but it's definitely tough. I watched a video today. Watched a video today, and it was the game Commanders versus the Bengals, week 3. Bengals were 0-2, and I watched it because I just wanted to watch the Bengals lose again. And I was watching, what's his name? Jaden Daniels play, right? And they moved to 2-1. They carved up the Bengals defense. He was running for TDs. He was throwing bombs. Like, he threw an absolute bomb to Scary Terry to win the game 34-something. Like, the Commanders have been through absolute hell in the last few years, and even going back to the Redskins. Now they've found their franchise guy. They can build around that. I feel like the Steelers are doing it opposite. Building the O-line first, building D-line, and then they're going to get quarterback. Now, nothing against Will Howard. We'll see how he goes. But will Aaron Rodgers be the guy for 1 year, or is it going to be just go Mason Rudolph? But the Commanders are an interesting team to watch because Jaden Daniels was on fire last year. Going to the playoffs, could be a chance. They could be the up-and-coming team like the Bengals look like they are, but the Bengals we all know stink. Yeah, I just hope he gets a chance. All right, now they're talking about the receiver DB Travis Hunter. I just hope he gets a chance. That's it. That'd be good too. First day it was Marky D hosting a podcast with Cat the Draft. You never know. If I get a booth there, bro, I'll get everyone in there. That'd be a good time. I think she's pretty attractive. So, Kay Adams, if you're watching this, I think you're attractive. Yeah, it's a band-aid. It's right. It's a band-aid. It is interesting to see what the Steelers did though, because they pretty much tried to get Trubisky and that failed. They tried to get Kenny Pickett in, that failed. Then they took a flyer on Justin Fields. That didn't work out because his money went up. And they didn't want to bring back Russell Wilson. So they thought, you know what? We'll go back and get Mason Rudolph. See how that pans out while getting a quarterback in this draft. And everyone was saying that this draft wasn't a quarterback-led draft. And then here we are with 3 quarterbacks and still waiting for the word. But yeah, if he signs one deal, not good with that. Yeah. I don't think true diehard fans would ever be done. I don't think they'd ever be done watching. All right, speaking of watching, we're 21 minutes in, and they've got the lady. Oh, that's pretty cool. They're pretty fast, aren't they? So Sandy Combs sat next to Jaguars receiver DB Travis Hunter on a flight recently, and she thought she was a really nice, person. And now she's on the show. There you go. I'm hoping after this segment, that something comes up. I don't want to sit here for 24 hours. And yeah, nothing like. Nothing yet. There's so many leaks though too. There's so many leaks and like schedule weeks become really odd as well. It doesn't come out as one day. It's just like leaks out over time, like over 3 or 4 days. Like they make everything into a spectacle, which we have to tune in for. But yeah, it's still gonna be a fun season. Now, let me hear what you're saying. Oh, she's a nurse. Do they work so fast doing that kind of stuff? But yeah, once they announce it, I got to go into go mode. Obviously, once they announce it, I got to sleep. But then tomorrow, the next day after that, I got to figure out how to get over there. How long I'm gonna go for? Could go for like 2-3 weeks. Try and save up. Might go to other countries as well, depending. Could be a possibility of doing some Europe stuff too. So this is huge. So this is massive. And I was always the one that said I didn't want to watch football outside of America. But if I get to go over there to an Irish pub and be surrounded by black and gold Steelers fans, what nothing cooler than that? That's very true. not yours, Jed. Felicia says here, I'm hoping the NFL doesn't screw us last time. Back-to-back divisional games last season. Yeah, we had 4 in a row, didn't we? Wasn't there 4 in a row? Is that right? Something like that. What was last year? Oh yeah, last year was pretty tough. I said it wasn't tough, but then like you think about it, the schedule was pretty insane. I think we had like Bengals Browns or whatever. Because we'll find out in 2 days, but we had Atlanta Falcons won that game, 1 versus Denver, 1-3 in a row versus Chargers. That was a good game too, by the way. Beating the Chargers 2010 to go 3-0, lost 2, then it was 3-2. Then we beat the Raiders. So what's that? 4-2. Yeah, 4-2. Then we beat the Jets, smashed them 37-15. Then it was 5-2 against the Giants. Then a bye, 6-2 against the Washington Commanders. Won with the last TD. Then it was 7-2 against the Ravens. Then we lost in the snow against the Browns, 7-3. Yeah, we had 4 in a row. We had Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns. Yeah. Like 7-2 versus the Browns, 8-2, 8-3. At one stage, it was 8-3, and then it all collapsed. After the 4 games in a row, it was 8-3. And we lost to the Eagles, lost to Baltimore, which I was in Pittsburgh, and Russ Wilson fucked it up. Then we lost to KC Chiefs on Christmas. Then we lost to the Bengals at home, snuck into the wild card playoffs, and they lost against the Ravens. Yeah, true that. Yeah, so when you look back at it, like when the schedule came out, I was like, oh, it's all right. No worries. Just go hit them up. But when you look back at it, it's pretty insane. Yeah, division and chief. It was tough. I think the Steelers had the hardest schedule last year too. I'm pretty sure they had the hardest schedule out of everyone. But that's what I mean. They to the other bloke's point, or the other channel's point, we don't do that. We don't sell out. We don't tank. They play hard and see what happens. But start of the season was pretty good. A Justin Field led team. TJ Watt going off in Atlanta. Should have got the sack, by the way. Should have been 18-3. The penalty offside was terrible. Beating Denver in the scrappy game, 13-6. Then the Chargers, I was 3-0. The last play against the Cowboys, if Dak Prescott doesn't look at the ball and we jump on it, we win the game. So could have won that game. I remember the Colts game, but could have won the Cowboys game. Smashing the Raiders in Las Vegas was pretty big. 32-13 doesn't really happen. Back-to-back New York games, winning 37-26. That's not bad. And beating up-and-coming Washington Commanders team as well. So, did okay. But obviously, could do better than that. Let's just how the cards are drawn. Oh, Mason Rudolph is 6'4". Russell Wilson was 5'9", right? So Mason Rudolph, I think the more they do it, unless Rodgers signs today or tomorrow, I think the more that he stays away, I believe it's going to be, it's probably going to be Rudolph. They'll go out and sign some other quarterback, and then Rudolph will start. Will Howard be third? Some other guy will be QB2. And then here you go. That's your season. Because why not? Why not have a Rudolph redemption tour? All right, that segment's done. I'm hoping the next segment we find out. Officially. I'm going for the official word. In that sense. He's a big guy. Yeah, he's like 6'4". I'm 5'1". I'm saying with my whole chest. Damn right. Yeah. He's a Mason Rudolph's a big guy. I think he gets a lot of slack. He gets a lot of shit, which I don't think is fair. Like the guy can play, and he keeps proving to people that he can play. His stats, like not even just stats, but like he's been in the NFL since 2019. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be his 6th year back with Pittsburgh, right? So not even just stats, but like being in the NFL for 6 years. Sorry, he started in 2018. I think he's won a few games here and there too. Or was he drafted in 20? I don't know. Was he no? Because he sat out. That's right. He sat out the first year. He didn't play the first year. He played in 2019. He's got his career 28 TDs, 20 interceptions, 4,000 something yards. He can play. Dude, imagine. It'd be unreal. It'd be the best. But I know all the AFC North fans will say that Mason Rudolph's crap. But I'll keep saying to him blue in the face. Other people out there are saying Lamar Jackson is great. Joe Burrow is great. Where is the ring? There is no ring. I'm good this season. I listened to the other bloke too. Was the running back, Caleb Johnson. He seems very checked in for a young guy. Seems very humble. Seems very driven. Seems ready to partner up with Warren. It's going to be exciting too to see Kenneth Gainwell too. I was always a fan with him from Philadelphia, so he's going to be fun to watch. Bring another guy over too, Darius Slay, to help our defense out, and he's won the Super Bowl last year. The Eagles guy, Slay and Kenneth Gainwell, Kenny G. Like, this team is getting better, I think, in certain parts. And maybe Darnell has a big year, or maybe Move has a big year too. But yeah, if the Steelers just make a choice, or Aaron Rodgers retires, and then the next minute, Rudolph's the guy, go with it. Mason Rudolph has a record of 14-14 and 1 tie. That was versus the Lions. But people will laugh, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, that'd be the best. I'm okay with it. Wait a minute. Do we have it yet? Oh, now they're talking Trey. Yeah, jeez. They're talking Trey Hendrickson, who they can't lock down. Had a really good season, and the Bengals can't lock him down, which is stupid. All right. Oh, what time's that? Good Morning Football just said, stay tuned for a special announcement at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. You're not going to want to miss it. Is that Rogers? Jesus Christ. What time is that? Is that like in 30? Is that in 30 minutes? Is that in 10 minutes? What time is it now? Is it 10 minutes? They just tweeted, stay tuned for a special announcement at 8:45. So international games. Has to be. Unless it's Rogers. That has to be the games. All right. So in 10 minutes, we should know that I might try and reach out to Tom and get Tom on the show if he's near a computer. I wonder if they'll go like overseas and do it. Like if they'll tune into Ireland and do it. He's retiring as well? Wow. Yeah, he's that's what I'm saying. I think he'd be fun to rally behind. And if you go back and watch his passes and the way I think he gets, you know what? I think he gets hated because he's a nice guy. I don't think he has any like there's no swag around him. That makes sense. I think because he's so there's football checked in and maybe there's no real story behind him. He gets a lot of hate or dislike. But you go back and watch those games versus freaking the Bengals and the Ravens and Seahawks. He won 3 in a row and had him on a heater. I think he had like 7 TDs and 0 interceptions, and his overall thing was like 110 passer rating or something like that. Or I don't know what it was, but he went really good. Yes, and Steelers fans will back him if he starts playing well. And he can throw the ball. Mason Rudolph can throw the ball. You watch any tape, any highlights, he can sling that rock all the way down the field, which helps with DK. He can find Calvin Austin over the top. He can find maybe Roman Wilson in space. He can find Big Darnell. He can move the pocket around. He just hasn't got a crazy backstory around him, so people don't really get after him. But I'd be more than happy to see him just go play. It was something like that. It wasn't like, yeah, Steelers, Mason Rudolph over 3 games, Christmas run. I don't know, run stats. He was on fire. Yeah, Mason Rudolph saved Christmas. All right, because Kenny Pickett was injured. Fucking Trubisky was doing nothing. Mason Rudolph saved Christmas and throws 2 TDs in a blowout win, 34-11 over the Bengals. That was on Christmas Eve. Pittsburgh's backup quarterback threw for 290 yards and snapped a 3-game losing streak and had one of his best days. Right? So why not? Why not? Why not? All right. Holy dooly. I've just got some news. It could be 1:45. What time is it now? I think it's coming up. Yeah, I think it's coming up. Sweet. I think it's coming up in 5 minutes. It's coming up. The official. Good morning, football. Good question. All right, I'm going to get Tom on straight after. So we'll do the announcement, get Tom on, and we'll talk to a guy who lives over there, an actual Irish dude. I played Skyrim first, but Oblivion, I think I played once, but I'm more Skyrim. But they're fantastic. They're unreal. If I could do a gaming channel, I'd probably do something like that. Just play that and muck around. You know. Yeah, Skyrim's unreal. That's just like classic. Build your character up. I was always a bow dude. I like being the bow dude and elf. I like just snipe from afar. But yeah. Skyrim when it first came out, I was like, this game's fucking unreal. It's like the best game I've ever seen in my life. And then everyone, when you get to the first town, everyone shoots the chicken. And when you shoot the chicken, you get in trouble. But I always like, yeah, skill trees, doing stuff up, quests, all that kind of shit. It was really fun with a kid. Yeah, Morrowind too. There you go. Yeah, isn't there like a rebuilt one, like a updated version for Oblivion? Yeah, it's not bad. All right. So in 4 minutes, they're gonna announce. And you don't want to. Oh yeah, they're gonna announce. Where they're playing, who they're playing, and we'll talk to Tom. So I don't have to stay awake for 12 hours. But yeah. G'day, Afton. Elder Scrolls is unreal. It's just fucking so much fun. I used to be a young adventurer like you, Mark, until I took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, but back to Mason Rudolph. If it goes that direction, I'm fine. Like they've got weapons with the tight ends. They've got potential in Roman Wilson. The airline's getting better, and they're working together. Running back with a new weapon and Caleb Johnson. Warren wants to run over people. Like Kenneth Gainwell for depth too. This offense could move. Won't be sexy, but it could definitely move. But there's been other reports out there that Rodgers was signing today or tomorrow or next week or whatever, or something like that. Meant to be big breaking news for Rodgers. So who knows? Apparently he's been signing up to country clubs, for golf clubs in Pittsburgh. But at the same time, what can you believe now? You can't believe anything on the internet. That's why all these clickbait YouTube channels do so well in terms of views and tricking you because they just lie to you. They consistently lie to people, which is fucking stupid. But yeah, Mason Rudolph, I'm happy if he's QB1, let him be QB1 because he's this bloke. It was debunked. There you go. Yeah, was never a fan of the cat. I was always the elf. So we're waiting for this, but we're also waiting for this bloke. But yeah, before they announce it in like 2 minutes, here's the rumor. The rumor is week 4, September 28th, Vikings versus Steelers in Dublin, Ireland, Croke Park. All right, here we go. International 8:45. 2 minutes. 7 games. I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. Argonian. All right, next segment if you're watching the NFL Network. Oh, we do. You know what? I hope they're wrong. I hope it's like week 15 or something like that, week 11, and the rumors are wrong. And everyone who bought their hotels are like, oh shit, now I gotta buy them again. But now we'll see. We will see. All you need to know. Oh. Yeah, in that game, Skyrim, I never chose the reptile or the cat. I always liked maybe the wood elf. High elf, didn't like the ogre. Or was it Nord or something like that? I was always just a normal looking character. Then I always turned my dude into it was like a high elf or a wood elf. But in Elder Scrolls Online, when I played with the mates, I was the wood elf with the mad bow, just like sniping them. You're the high elf. Yeah, they were cool too. I just like how good they were at archery. I just like to sneak around and shoot people. But yeah, it is one of the best games. If you've never played that and you're into games like Oblivion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online's okay, but single player wise, just take your time. Take your time and just go through it. It's good fun. All right, we're getting there. We're almost there. One more ad. One more ad. Conjuring Magic. I don't know what I did. I can't remember. What I did. I used to like. I think I used to like sneaking and just a headshot with a bow, maybe a fire bow, something like that. But yeah, I heard the other one. The Oblivion got remastered, so people playing that. Another ad. One more ad. Must have been the wind. Is that when you're shooting someone? Oh. Okay, now what year is that game? When did Skyrim come out? Holy doory. Can't speak. 2011? Oh, prime years. That's 14 years ago? Fucking hell. That's such a good game. Wow. That's insane. Released on the 11th of the 11th. Here we go. Here we go. They're going to announce the games. That's crazy. 11th, 11th. I gotta look that up. What's going on? Let me look that up. What is it? I don't get it. All right, they're talking about now. Can you hear that or not? Dead set. It's happening right now. Week 4. So versus Vikings. Steelers versus who? Week 4. Has to be the same one. Oh, 100% it's the Vikings. 100%. So it's confirmed. Yeah, sometimes the spoilers ruin it. The leaks ruin it. Minnesota Vikings are playing in Dublin. It is correct. It's just been announced. September 28th. 100% correct. Hooly dooly. Now I got to figure it out. So the rumor is correct. This one here, Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, September 28th, 9:30 Eastern Time. Vikings versus Steelers. They got a picture of who's that? Jefferson and TJ Watt. So the rumors are absolutely 100% true, which is, September 28th, Vikings versus Steelers. There you go. Was that worth waiting up for? Maybe not. Was it fun? A little bit. All right, let's get Tom on here. Because now they're doing the London games with the Browns. All right, I'm going to invite Tom on to talk football, and then we'll call it a day. You guys are starting your day. In London. Hooly dooly. Let me invite him. Let me double check. So you know what? That's the crap part about the spoilers. Is people knew this 2 months ago, and then about a week ago, people knew this. It takes the fun out of it. I wish people didn't spoil it. All right, let's bring him on. Yeah, I wish people didn't spoil it, but that's the way the world works. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, or morning game for you guys in America. Interesting. Alrighty. No, not our game. No, not our game. We don't know. That's the only game we know is that one. I'm pretty sure. That's the only one. So they just did Denver Broncos at the Jets. Is that correct? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Spoiler alert. How do you avoid it? And doing the role that I got here is how do you avoid it? You can't avoid it. It's freaking hard to turn your phone off and block everything out. In London. Yeah, it's going to be Rams versus Jags. Oh, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm excited, right? It's fun, but I think it'd be funner. It'd be funner if everyone could just watch Good Morning Football and get the announcement at the same time. You know, like it's still fun, but it could be funner when the surprise isn't ruined. Like in what's that movie? Um, is it Big Daddy? We wasted the good surprise on you. But yeah, September 28th. I'll be there. I gotta find a way. I'll find a way, but I'll be there. And I guess it's like a soccer stadium too, isn't it? Hmm. Yeah, that'd be insane. That'd be insane. Well, everything's got like the draft is so the draft is so like propped up, schedule release, training camp, everything's got something going on. So then talking about the Colts, like because people leak everything out. Yeah, Colts versus Falcons. Nothing can be kept secret. But that's crazy. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Wait, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven international games. That's insane. No worries, all good. I won't be on too much longer. Thank you, Felicia. Yeah, we'll be dude, 100%. Yeah, I'll see when Tom gets on. We'll have a quick chat with Tom, and then we'll head to bed myself. Crazy. I know a few people from like Steelers France, Steelers. um, Steelers France, Steelers Germany. They'll be all going too. So I gotta go. I gotta figure it out. For the first time in NFL history, a team will play two consecutive international games in two different countries. Vikings will face. Yeah, Vikings will play Steelers September 28th, then they'll go to London. That's crazy. They could lose both. Steelers India. Hey, she's not been around. She was here the other day. Yeah, every single one was correct. Every single one. Here he is. My mate Tom. Tom, just give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up when you're ready. All right, I'll turn this down. Ladies and gentlemen, at the time of 10:57 p.m. in Australia, no idea what time it is in Ireland at all. And it's like 9 a.m. in America. With my great honor is to bring on Tom McCormick. What's going on, mate?
Good to see you, buddy. How are things in Oz?
A bit tired. Just been online for 54 minutes, but doing my thing. And it's our Steelers versus Vikings in your hometown.
Yeah, I just got the news there. The ad just dropped at 13:45, which is 10:45 your time in Sydney, Newcastle area. So yeah, it's been muted for the last couple of weeks. That it's been the Vikings since the pretty much the draft, I guess, when Packers have said that it wasn't going to work. So yeah, bring on the Vikings. We've had the Vikings here before, but it was many hundreds of years ago when they invaded us. So I think that we're looking forward.
I was going to say, are you guys getting all prepped up and getting out your rakes and getting out your pitchforks and stuff like that? You're getting your swords ready.
I think that Braveheart picture's over now at this stage. But what we are looking forward to is a week of great celebration of the NFL. Hoping to see lots of fans from all around the world here in Dublin, including many Australians. Met a few Australians at the draft in Green Bay, and it's just amazing that the NFL, fair dues to them, have in the last number of years really tried to internationalize the game. And it's I met the Raiders fan from Canberra, Josh, and he was the looking forward to Melbourne and 2026 with the Rams going there. Maybe the Raiders, his team as well. So he was the Raiders International Fan of the Year. But and a couple of other Aussies were in Green Bay as well, representing 49ers and a few others. So it's a global game, and it's great that
how was Green Bay?
Oh,
how was your
mate,
time over there in the draft?
It was unbelievable. Well, first off, the Steelers flew me into Pittsburgh, and we stayed at the team hotel, which is the William Penn downtown, where the team stayed the night before the game. Old style, a bit like the Shelburne here in Dublin. And on the Tuesday, then we met in Primanti's, where else, for lunch, and then out to Acrisure Stadium and a tour of the stadium, which the field was pretty cut up because they were doing a motocross, motorcycle bikes festival that following weekend. And then AC/DC, ever hear of them? They were playing the stadium last Thursday. So whatever's left of Acrisure Stadium will be now prepped for the OTAs and the pre-seasons, and for the Pitt Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the pitch was pretty cut up, but I hadn't seen the Hall of Honor before when I was there for.
You know what? I missed it because I was so silly. I did the tour of the stadium again for the second time, right?
Yeah.
I was running out of time that day. I didn't know where. So my stupid brain, I looked all around. Didn't know it was on top of the shop. I didn't go there. I should have figured it out.
Yeah.
So I didn't go there because I was like, I walked around the stadium, then I walked around the shop for about 20 minutes. I was like, oh, I better go home. Because I got the Pittsburgh flu as well, because there was flu going. You know how the players talked about the flu, Queen, Cameron Hayward, and a few others? I had that. I definitely had that. I felt sick. So there's something going around Pittsburgh. So
I think it's a change in temperature, a bit like Dublin. You can get 20 degrees and you're back down to 8. At night. So it's the contrast with all that type of stuff, which is very difficult to take on board, particularly as an athlete, because you got to take on board the sweat and the hot and cold and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it was cold at one stage and then got warmer than cold again. It was really odd. So I think the Steelers, during that Ravens game, the reports came after saying that the Steelers had some of them had some flu issues. And I definitely got something from someone. So the Pittsburgh had some kind of flu demic or something like that. Have you been? Was that your first time, Tom, to Pittsburgh?
No. It's I've been there a few times, but it's the first time I'd seen the Hall of Honor. It wasn't open the last time I was there for the Monday night game with Ben's last home ride, as they call it.
That's right. I remember, yeah.
So it wasn't open at that stage. So they opened it for me and for my wife and I, and we had a very good tour and saw everything from Dan Rooney's desk to the old Dan, the late great Dan Rooney's desk, to a whole load of other things. I won't spoil it for you, because I do think you and all the people that are watching might pencil in Pittsburgh as the draft venue for next year.
I'll be there. I got to figure. I don't know how I'm getting there, but I'll be there.
Around Easter,
it's going to figure it out.
4-day festival. It's free admission. It's for the cities that probably will never host a Super Bowl because of weather conditions and outdoor fields. So it's gone from Detroit to Green Bay to Pittsburgh. I think Washington D.C. are coming up as well.
Yeah,
after us. So after us next year. So I do pencil in those 3 or 4 days if you can to get to Pittsburgh. Nothing obviously beats a live match, and that's what we're looking forward to now in September. But the other part is getting to Pittsburgh and seeing where your heroes run and walk into the training facilities quite a distance away. So we got to see that later on in the afternoon, the late evening when the players had left. We went to see and we saw the trophies and the indoor facility, the outdoor facility and everything. So happy days. But do try and get to Pittsburgh next year, mate.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be I don't know how I'm getting Dublin yet. I don't know how I'm getting to Pittsburgh, but I will be there. It's one of those things where I have to be there. So I will make it my mission. If it's swimming there, if it's camping, I don't know. If whatever I have to do, I will be there 110%, without a doubt. Did you meet Art Rooney or anyone like Mike Tomlin when you're over there?
I met Dan Rooney at the
Mm.
draft. Obviously, the players and the owners had left the facility at 7 p.m. when I went to the training facility. But Dan Rooney is always just a new dad, by the way. His
Mm-hmm.
firstborn is a son, and by tradition, he's called Art. So his baby is Art. So he was leaving the draft in Green Bay to take over a few nighttime shifts for his good lady. So congratulations to them both on the birth of their recent son, and great to see the tradition of Art Dan Art continuing on down the Rooney family. Obviously, it's a huge day for them today when the announcement of the Dublin match here,
Mm-hmm.
which is only 80 miles south of Newry, where Dan Rooney's grandparents left back in the 1850s to go to the States. It's only 80 miles south, and they were here, the same venue, but a much more antiquated stadium in 1995 than people are going to see today or in September when the Steelers and the Vikings come to town. So 76,000 people. The people at the
Wow.
draft were saying that the ticket allocation is really for international fans, that the Steelers might end up with only somewhere between 5 and 10%, so that they're
Mm-hmm.
all those season ticket holders in Pittsburgh will only go into a lottery for tickets. And, so the emphasis is on getting people like you and me and international
Mm-hmm.
fans to watch the game in Dublin.
Like I
And
said,
elsewhere.
I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know if you and I got to sneak over the fence. I don't know what we have to do. I think where there's a will, there's a way, and yeah, I definitely will be there somehow. If I can't get to the game, I'll go to a pub. But I want to ask you this one big question: how was it announcing Will Howard as your pick?
Well,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
You have the card?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Let's see how his career pans out for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And then with no notice, my wife Brona then got to do a draft pick Dante Kent in the 7th round. She'd only
really?
2 minutes notice. So
Wow.
she teaches 4th grade. So once you do a microphone for a school Christmas play, I suppose you don't worry about the 200,000 people in front of you and the millions on TV. So she also
That's
got
pretty
to
cool.
We're going to give the two lads their cards when they get here to Dublin in September. As part of their collection.
They're cool, but first photocopy them. I'm thinking,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But the originals go to the lads themselves as part of
they're
their
cool.
NFL history.
I would want to keep them a little bit if he does really well and he's like a Tom Brady situation. He's like a 6-time Super Bowl champion. You're the bloke that you're the guy that announced his pick. Like that to me is pretty special.
But I'm also the guy who gave his card to him as well, so that would mean more to me
cool.
Maybe
I'm a bit selfish.
No. But I mean,
have the card in your hands.
You and I are in the media and PR world. We get to meet some of these guys, and they sign stuff, and then others just put them up on eBay within a couple of hours. It just drives me nuts.
I wouldn't put it on eBay. I just like to have it. I think it'd be kind of cool. But I know what you mean. You give it, it's he's the bloke that could be a franchise guy, right? Maybe we don't know.
Absolutely.
Never know. But I thought when you walked out, you got to announce possibly a Steel, at least for the next 4 years, a Pittsburgh Steeler with, like, to me, not much pressure on him too, because he's going to be third quarterback, right? There's no more pressure. Like, there's a lot of pressure on Kenny Pickett. You got to announce Will Howard, and that to me is freaking awesome. Like, I think that's unreal.
It was unreal. There's a holding kind of area just beside the TV desk where everything is kind of 30 seconds, 90 seconds delay. So you going out and then you walk out and they've all the graphics lined up to fill in the back screen and stuff like that simultaneously. And I couldn't believe it because I was joking with a number of people, I'm going to announce the next quarterback. And of course, what happens? I do announce our next quarterback. And, it was just something unreal. And, it was great to see his reaction on the video clip over the next day or two afterwards, seeing how much pick me. So he's a Steeler through and through. And I think Omar Khan and Coach Tomlin were saying all the guys they picked, they're all got Steelers DNA. So absolutely thrilled that he's that type of guy and he's that type of player. And I look forward to seeing him in the black and gold. So I'll be wearing number 18 jersey in Crow Park.
I just think it's now that I know you in a few podcasts and a few Twitter messages here and there, I just think it's absolutely amazing that you got to announce Will Howard's pick, and also you said your wife announced Dante Kent. I think that's really special and really cool. Inside this, we're all nuts, right? I just waited up an hour. You just stuck by your TV just to find out what game was on. We're all nuts. So I think in the Steelers lore thing, I think it's so freaking cool. The fact you can walk out there, you said your speech, addressed all Steeler Nation and said, your next quarterback and the 6th round pick is Will Howard. And we don't know his story yet, but this could build into something really fun. I think that's because I saw you as well, like on the NFL.com and like you're going everywhere viral because you're,
Or I picked a quarterback, or I announced a
quarterback, right?
So yeah, I mean, it was fantastic, and obviously the fact that he was a national state champion, had 4 excellent playoff games to bring Ohio State to the championship game and then win it, and the way he did it. So a lot of obviously, given the amount of talk about quarterbacks, etc., in Pittsburgh the last year or two since Ben retired, it's just fantastic that as I say, I happen to be lucky enough to announce the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool talking to a bloke who did that, let alone you did it for the guy you're going to meet and give him his card, So I think it's pretty cool. Do you think this Steelers draft class was a successful one in terms of like the running back and the 2D linemen we got?
I think it's been very good. I think Omar Khan said we're a better team now than we were before the draft, and I think it'll have to go along. Look, as I said to you before, there's what goes on inside the room and what's on outside the room. Derek Harmon was figured to be on a lot of people's first picks, and thankfully he was still there when we went up to pick him. So I think Jack Sawyer and Will Howard from Ohio State national champions, a couple of tough people from Iowa State, and obviously Dante Kent we've now known from as a cornerback from Central Michigan, and then even subsequent to that they've obviously drafted in a few short-term 1-year deals for running backs and things like that. So I think we're looking forward to, obviously the Dublin match is now going to be in week 4. So we're going to see a couple of preseason games. We'll probably see Will Howard get a number of reps, maybe in the second half of some of those. But I like his style. I like him as a man, and I like his family. I like the whole setup and the fact they all jumped in the pool, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, the double front flip.
There's a lot of humanity about them, which is great. So it wasn't, anything out of the ordinary. It was very much down to earth and let's get to work. So I thought that was a great pick.
In terms of Steelers DNA, you've probably heard this story going around with George Pickens, right? Are you good that George Pickens is now left? Because apparently there was some ruffled feathers in the locker room with him. Steelers DNA, I think the Steelers are doing that. They're getting rid of a bit of the trouble. Like I did like Pickens, but are you okay with him leaving?
I think I am. Number one, we got Metcalf coming in, and another top quality wide receiver. Obviously Pickens made some incredible catches over the last number of seasons. I wish him well in the Cowboys, sort of. But from a Steelers point of view, I think there is a Steelers DNA, and obviously they started very well last season. Then the second half of the season, a few losses crept in, just made the playoffs, and again one and out was the situation. So it gives anybody a chance to throw stones at any organization, whatever else it is. But I think we're in great shape for the new season, and a bit of optimism for everybody this time of the year because no games are played yet, but it's all in our heads. And certainly from an Irish point of view, an international fans point of view, it's great that they're going to be so close to us here in Dublin and somewhat closer to you in Sydney, Newcastle.
What for me to Sydney to Ireland, it's like 15 hours away. Long trip,
I've been there. I might get down for the test for the Lions Wallabies test, so I might see you down there before you see it back up here. So fingers crossed. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to ask you one more question because we'll both get out of here soon. This Aaron Rodgers stuff. What's going on? Is he going to sign or not sign?
I really have no idea. No more than
idea.
Maybe 95% of the Steeler Nation. We really don't know what's going on. I think we've got a lot of time between now and pre-season. A lot of things a lot of water under O'Connell Bridge. A lot of water under Sydney Harbour Bridge. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think we've all talked about a lot on my channel too. We talked about a lot. I'm okay with Mason Rudolph. If Rodgers signs too, we'll see what happens. I think the longer it goes on, though, he probably won't. But you never know. It could be in 4 hours' time when I go to sleep and you go to lunch or whatever. He might sign. But I want to give a big thank you to you. It's a historical day for the Steelers to go and play in Ireland for the regular season game. They played back in 1995, was it?
97, a preseason match against Chicago. Yeah.
1970 is a preseason. So back to their roots. I will be there somehow, some way. You can teach me how to drink a Guinness in 5 months' time. I don't know how I'm getting there. And one big thank you to Claude for the return to Pittsburgh, which is there's Steelers stuff going on now. You've got a game in Ireland, Dublin, and a few months later, after we win the Super Bowl, which I think is like in LA or something, right? Super Bowl, no, is it 60? No, 60. It's San Fran. It's San Fran.
Yeah. Well, the Santa Clara, it's about an hour out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
I took the train out of San Francisco going down to LA, and about an hour later, I saw the Levi Stadium on my right, and down the road was the San Jose Sharks. So, like, I mean, it really
Did you
is.
mention that? Imagine if the Steelers did that, right? Because I went to Super Bowl 50 almost 10 years ago. Imagine if the Steelers went to Dublin. They had a great season. Mason Rudolph's on fire, right? Everyone's on fire. TJ Watt's man of the year. And they go to Santa Clara, Super Bowl 60 versus the Cowboys. Then you see JPJ marking up against George Pickens and come back to the draft. But besides that, they're going to be very busy. Dublin, crazy, and then the draft and you'll be there, right? You'll be in Pittsburgh as well
at the draft next season. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't miss it because, as I say, I have family there as well, so I don't have to depend on hotels or anything like that when I get to Pittsburgh. It's very much a second home for us now. So, but I just can't urge you and your many listeners and watchers to see if they can make it. It might be easier to get to Pittsburgh next Easter with budgeting and time planning and everything else than it might be for Dublin this September. So if you can't get to Dublin, do get to Pittsburgh and enjoy the whole experience. But nothing beats a live game at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do both as best I can. So thank you, Tom, for coming on the show. And by the way, Steel Nation out there from in Australia and America, they wake up in America with such short fucking notice. Tom's like, I'll jump on. So thank you, Tom, mate, for that. I'm look forward to talking to you more. I said in 5 minutes, do you want to come on? You're like, yeah, I'll come on. Like,
sure. Yeah, well, it's 2:15 here. I've had my lunch, so we're ready to rock. Okay.
Ready to rock and roll. All right, thank you, Tom, mate. I'll kick you out. I'll see you later. Thank you, dude. We'll see you in week 4, September 28th. Steelers versus Vikings.
September, but don't leave it till the weekend. Come over for a good week or so, 10 days. Get to see the country as well as the city.
Yeah, dead set. And Gene says beers to you as well, Tom. 100%, man. You're a great Steeler fan. I always enjoy talking to you. You announced the future Hall of Famer, Will Howard from Ohio State.
Thank you. I'll just leave you with that, okay?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Added to the Steelers collection. And Will, you'll be picking that up shortly from Ireland. Okay. Thank you, Tom, mate. I'll let you go.
Take care.
See you, mate. Alrighty, Steel Nation. Thank you very much. We'll end the show shortly. And big thanks to Tom as well for coming on the show. It was we all kind of knew it was going to be Steelers versus Vikings, but once it happens, we're gonna see how it goes. I got to save my money up. I'm going to save my coin up, but right now I got to go to bed. So thank you, Tom, so much. And then I'm going to get rid of this chat. I didn't expect to have like 10, 12, 13 people in here when you guys are waking up like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So that's a lot of fun. And I will be there in Dublin and I will be there in Pittsburgh somehow, some way. We'll get there. Thank you, Claude, for the $5 dues. And yeah, man, it's going to be a very exciting season. Now we know the Steelers in a couple of days' time. We're going to find out where the Steelers play in sense of the other games too. So we'll end it there. Thank you, Steel Nation. Steelers play Vikings over in Ireland, September 28th. It's going to be a good time. And let's end it right now. I got to go to bed. I'll see you later.
I'll see you guys later.
Left the light on. See you later. Bye.